Okay, hi, happy day. Hi, happy day. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Miriam. I'm intuitive. I speak with angels. I speak with their guides. I watch the numbers. I pay attention to them. I say them to you. So, if you are getting this, oh, and if you're new, if you're new here, hi. This is my face. You're supposed to hear stuff out of my face. Oh, you Lord. Oi, 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 oi. I didn't do my hair. I'm not gonna do my hair. I'm never gonna do that. That's not true. Alright, so you're here. Do you know what you're doing? Because it seems like you do know what you're doing. And sometimes it seems like maybe you start to question what you're doing. Like, should I be doing this at all? Should I be whatever? Like, you kind of keep going back and forth one as I say this. So, here's how it feels. Oh, my pits are already sweating. Pardon me. You don't have to pardon nobody. Anyway, it's like you're moving. You know that you're moving within faith or acceptance or radical acceptance or something. You're moving in the fact that you are accepting whatever this new life is going to be for you. So you know you're doing that part. A little bit like it's like you know you're on the right path to the thing that you want to end up achieving. Even if it looks completely different, a complete 180 in comparison to what you are going towards. Like sometimes that's part of the journey is you have to be here to get to there. But I feel like you know that you're on the right path. You're going in the right direction. You're going west, or you're going east, or you're going south, or you're going north. You know that generally you need to go that way, and you feel good about that. And you know along the way there will be signs. You'll be, oh, this one right here. Ooh, confirmation work. Take some turns whenever they tell you to take the turns. The number that came up for me was 654. 654. Now that is a secret 6-9. And 6-9, it's a sneaky 6-9. 6-9 is very much about over giving and over loving and not necessarily making sure that you're receiving. It's supposed to be a good giving and receiving type thing. But sometimes the 6 energy tends to overwhelm with let's love, let's come on. Oh, I just want to give. And so there's been a lot of giving in your life. I was actually talking about something like this with someone yesterday. That being able to accept that you are allowed to receive. There are a lot of things that you can do to receive things, to start attracting that energy of like, yeah, you come to me. Well, I'm not going all the way over there, driving all out my way and wasting my energy and dealing with the trap. You come over here to me. You want to see me? You come see me. There's ways to see each other without even being in the same room. There's all this stuff. So it's like, right now you know that you are doing what you need to do, which is changing that mentality of like, okay, there are things specifically for me. Because there are. Like, sometimes it's the exact same thing as somebody else, but you just doing it different. You know? You must know. Because, I mean, I feel a little bit in the dark here because I'm like, what are you doing, though? Because do you know what you're doing? Because it seems like you know what you're doing. It just seems like, oh, okay. I didn't realize you knew how to do all that. So what are you waiting for? Ah! Like, you know. Like, maybe if you don't know the exact same thing that is coming up, it's almost like you're afraid of what your future holds. 7:07 a.m. as I say this. It's like you're afraid to become that person. In 4:56, as I look down at the clock, that is 6:54 in the opposite. You're afraid of being 96 instead of 69. Where you're moving through 9 first, where you're moving through the understanding of the whole, but also then giving yourself care and yourself love. It is hard work to create a stable environment to where you can then like expand and grow and have this finished, completed goal. Because sometimes if you're leading with love, love is infinite and unconditional and is there forever. So here it is, loving, loving, love, 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 love. And sometimes that gets us taken advantage of now, doesn't it, sweetheart? Oh, did that happen? Of course it did. Of course it did. Of course it has at least once in your life, but because people just be doing that. They opportunistic. But whenever you lead with understanding what your purpose is, leading with knowing how whole and complete you are from the beginning, you aren't pouring out constantly. You aren't giving constantly. You are, one, you're receiving when you need to receive. That's something that just came up. Like, you're not constantly on the receiving end. Sometimes you are still, here you go. Here's this, here's that. Here's this, here's that. Push and pull and ebb and flow and ways and you go do it. You know? So that's what's happening. And so you know when to shift in between those things. A 9 and a 6 are the same thing. Except 6 is 9 upside down or 9 is 6 upside down. Whatever way you want to put it. Whenever we look at 6, there's a lot of things that they do when you look at the numbers. But there's 6 and there's 9. So there's 6 shaped like so. And this bottom 6 right here kind of reminds me of the upside down crucifix. So if you're looking at the cross, that's about Christ consciousness. And so you want to be up here leading through your heart and not down here leading through your lower chakras. And 6, its main focus is in the lower chakras. Comfort, pleasure, food, doing things for people, a lot of lower. And then the 9, and well, that's the intent of the energy. That doesn't mean that that person is going to be that way, you know. They still have to do the work and accept their gifts. And the 9, its focus is up here at the top, at the higher chakras. They both are going to touch to the heart chakra. Okay, so we've got 6 and we've got 9, and they're going to both touch the heart chakra, and then the upper ones are taken care of with 9. The lower ones are taken care of with 6. The thing is, too, at any point you can literally just switch those around, twist them upside down, and all of a sudden your 6 is a 9 and your 9 is a 6. Love is the prerequisite. I don't even know what that word means. Can you please? Love is a prerequisite for your being here. Like, it's not, it seems like, but doesn't that mean, I don't know what that means. I know it's a prerequisite, guys. Prerequisite. Okay. Something required beforehand or necessary as preparation for something else. Something required beforehand or necessary as preparation for something else. And love is your prerequisite. So, why you gonna say it all fancy like that whenever it could have just been like, you gotta love yourself before you get your love type of thing. It's essentially that, but it's like, but it's not exactly that. Love is a prerequisite for it. And it's because you're required to see that from people before you give to them. Like, you have to see that there's love, not just like lust, and that this isn't just romantic, this is business and all that. Like, what emotions are driving that person? Are they wanting to work with you because they want to work with you, because they love you, or are they wanting to work with you because the first thing on their mind is to benefit from you? Like, some people are like, oh, I just want to be around you and I love your ideas and all those things. Those are all part of it. Sometimes people are literally just there to get you for what you can provide. Like, you are a CEO of your own ideas and works and movements, yet people want to hire you as a secretary. And for a long time, you've been okay with that. You've been okay with being hired as the janitor or the secretary or whatever, because you're humble. You're humble. But stop being so humble about your gifts or about your skills. It's not even necessarily gifts. A lot of things that you've done in this lifetime are gifts that you gave yourself through being dedicated and choosing to actually do the thing. And so, really, love is a prerequisite to living your fulfilled life. And it's really easy to hear, it's love, love is the answer, it's always gonna be love, do, gotta love it. But that just is what it is. Like, it's the reason why it's being said so often and pounded into our heads over time. It's because it's 11:33 as I say that. It's because it's the answer. I might talk about Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy a lot. Remember, they are traveling, spoiler alert, are traveling all the way across the universe. You'll probably see this a lot. They travel all the way across the galaxy, not the universe, the galaxy. Excuse me. 11:55 as I say this. To this robot. To this massive computer who knows everything. And they want to know an answer to a question. So when they get there, they ask them, like, what's the meaning of life or something? And it goes 42. And they're like, a number? What? That doesn't make sense. That's funny. What a funny little joke. But 42 is 6, which is love, which is family, which is marriages, which is desires and passions. 4 is about hard work. Did you know that real love takes work? Did you know that? And 2 is about partnerships and patience and diplomacy. Did you know that sometimes when it comes to love, you gotta be a partner, and you gotta be patient, and you gotta give people grace, you gotta be thankful. That's 2 energy. People always say, oh, marriage is hard work. It's hard work. It's not. If you're diligent, it's not hard work. Because 4, the number 4, a lot of people think, oh, I gotta roll up my sleeves and do the hard work, and I gotta do it. But if you were somebody who was a bit more diligent each day, did small diligent things, and whenever it comes to your big diligence day, there's less diligence that needs to be done, because it's a habit, as opposed to saving it all up for one day. That's a lot easier said than done. Diligence is something that you have to, like, it's kind of like being aware of the moment and being present, and diligence requires a lot of presence. And so 4 for me is about presence and stability and hard work and exertion, physical exertion. And so I think that when it comes to all the stuff that you're doing and moving towards in your life, especially because right now it kind of feels like a hurry up and wait situation with the universe. Like, hey, come over here, but hang out in the waiting room, like, because we got you. We need you here. You're in the green room right now. You're about to go on live. You're about to be broadcast to the world. So you need to come in here. You need to wait. Eat your M&Ms. Even with all the dyes in them, just eat your M&Ms and enjoy. And then we'll call you whenever it's time. But you're still here. So you know you got a job to do. You know you got an interview to do. You know you got an appearance to make or whatever. And before you're doing anything in your life, the prerequisite is love. So if just in case you didn't know what you were doing, but I feel like you do. Look at that. Look how far away my peak is. That's because it's time. It's trying to make an L. We're trying to make an L here. Anyway, love is your prerequisite. So that means in a relationship, do I love this person? Sure, easy peasy. When it comes to work, do I feel full of love whenever I'm going that way? Because, like, literally, you are allowed to love the things that you do in life. And if you don't wake up being like, I mean, granted, some people don't wake up like that. They need their coffee and all that. So they wake up and they're like, but then they get their coffee and they're okay. But sometimes you wake up and you're just like, I get to go do my job. I'm so excited. I get to go see my person, or I'm going on vacation. Ooh, I couldn't even sleep last night. I was so excited because I'm gonna, you know, what is making you feel like that? That isn't another human being, because sometimes it's other human beings. You're allowed to be happy from another person, but what is it that you are doing for yourself in these, in your career, in your movements, in your whatever, in your path for yourself? Because even if you are fully locked up, boot up with a soulmate, you still have your own stuff that you got to take care of, which is loving yourself even more. Because I know you're loving yourself more than you used to. I know that for a fact. I feel like how horrid. That's what I was going to say. I wanted to say horrid. I could feel how horrid you used to be to yourself. Like, you really took things from the people who were really who were bad to you and said bad things to you, did mean things to you, all that stuff, and you were seeing that a lot. Oh, my whole yeah. Well, you were seeing that a lot, and then you were also seeing how you were perpetuating certain things to yourself, like calling yourself mean things, or reutilizing those things. You were able to start being aware of it because you're doing the work. Period. Like, it's also the thing too. It's like if you meditate a whole bunch and you meditate forever, and you're meditating for a whole 1 month straight, you're gonna meditate. You're gonna learn the things that you learn. You're gonna comprehend the things you're gonna comprehend. That doesn't mean that you can't still go back to your life and live it whatever type of way, and then regress from that elevation. And sometimes you start to feel yourself regress, and you're hard on yourself when you do it. Like, say you're someone who's had panic attacks a lot in their life, and then like you've been good with no panic attacks for a while, and then all of a sudden you go to do something that you like, and you find yourself having a panic attack, or you're on the verge of it, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so, and now I'm nauseous, and now I'm this, and now I'm all that, and now you're feeling like you're going back to the way that you were before you were able to be moving confidently in the world, or more confidently, or more securely. And so you start to get scared. And you start 18 as I say this, you start to get scared. Looking around like, oh no, like I'm going back. I thought it was okay. I thought I was healed. I thought I was better. Like, why is this back? Why is this back? I thought I was done. But you weren't done. Because that is also a diligence mindset too. Loving yourself does take diligence. Because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of effort. It takes a lot. So, like, even having, like, something that just works for you, you know what foods you like, if you're able to know what foods you like. Because some people don't even have the blessing of knowing what foods that they like. Because they may have liked it last week, but now they hate it, and they don't ever want to see it again. um, and so learning to work with the ebbs and flows of your body, the intuitive healing of it, the intuitive eating, the intuitive caring for it, knowing when to, like, I mean, honestly, this sounds like maybe a little strange, but like knowing when to shower. Like, I almost feel like some people like are knowing when to like take care of yourself and like pamper yourself up, and when to use that energy in this way, and how to spread that energy out in a way that is more a rationed out type of thing. So it's like, okay, I've done my hard work in this. But the way that I did my hard work is I set myself up to where even if I want to be diligent on all the other days where I can't be hardworking, I can't. So it's like on this day, whenever you're surrounded with this hardworking energy, and so pay attention to your composite attitude energy, your personal days, and stuff with like that, with the world. And so on that 4 day, you do all the grunt, the hardest grunt work. You know, the stuff that's like, okay, here it is. I need to do meal prepping. So I don't really want to cook everything, but what I am going to do is I'm going to dice all my stuff. I'm going to cut all the things. All I'm doing is cutting. I'm cutting up the meats. I'm cutting up the vegetables. I'm cutting up the whatever things, fruits, whatever you're cutting, you're cutting. Granted, you should cut the meats last if you're going to be using the same knife for cutting board, but wash after each one. Anyway. Yeah, it's just about when you have the energy to do the thing, you do the most efficient and effective thing. This is kind of how you are. Like you kind of like you'll think on something for a while, and you'll absorb, and you'll gather like kind of research on like the thing you want to do. I want to build a catapult. But you don't just go out there and start building a catapult right away. You look up catapults. You understand the physics of it. You understand what's going on. What is the how catapults were built back in the olden days and all that. And then how are they being built now with the modern day technology, and looking up on YouTube and seeing people do stuff and how they failed and how they've done well. And then all of a sudden, even though everybody just thought you were just sitting there watching YouTube all day, just not doing nothing, hanging out, or going to work and watching YouTube, all of a sudden you have a catapult industry. Like you've done catapulted your catapult business into the money ether, and everybody's just like, ooh, I need that catapult, give me that, because it's like a catapult for like, yeah, it's not just this catapult gets you to work, this catapult does this catapult does that. But yeah. It really was, what? It really was a good time. It really was a good time. That's what I heard out of nowhere. Now I have nothing else coming through. So I guess it really was a good time. I don't know if that means anything to y'all. Alright, well, I got stuff to do today, as usual, always working. This really helped me wake up. Wake up! Wake up! Anyway, in the meantime, it was 12:55 as I said that. If you don't know that song, look up Wake Up. I forget who it's by. Why am I saying Hootie and the Blowfish? It's not. Let's see. That's Imagine Dragons. It's not that one. Hold on, let me get you the artist, because otherwise you're going to just... There's a lot of wake-ups. No. Child sleeping in bed. How come I can't freaking... Oh, it's Wake Up Everybody. Wake Up Everybody by Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. That's right. Harold. It's a 7-minute and 32-second song. Yeah. So you could go ahead and look at that. Wake up. Wake up, everybody. Tired of sleeping in bed. And if you start to listen to music from the past, especially like the music by people who were in like that movement area, like the psychedelic and the Woodstock times, a lot of those songs are about spiritual awakening, and about service and duty. Yeah, Wake Up Everybody's a lot about that. 727 as I say this, by the way. So listening to a lot of the music from those times, and even like for like there's like a 2 decade period, lots of music to go through. Okay, um, the paying attention like the lyrics that you are listening to. A lot of people are like, okay, here's a song, and it's like, I'ma kill you and you gonna kill me. I'ma kill my ex. Do 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 do. Boo boo boo. It's a good song. And so a lot of people naturally hear those words and they're like, very negative. Oh my gosh. And that is the case if you can't then reimagine those words. So it's like saying, "Oh, I'm gonna kill my ex" or whatever. Your ex can be an ego. So you can just kill an ego that is your ex, because like there are things that we have inside of ourselves that we are holding from past relationships. Even if that past relationship isn't there anymore, there's still insecurities within yourself, or there's still triggers from that. There's still things that you believe from that interpersonal relationship. And until, like, good and bad. Because there's good stuff too that we believe about ourselves that can also be like, you know what? Turns out I'm not that. I used to think I was a great communicator. I thought I was a really good communicator because I talk so much. Turns out I'm a confusing person. Not all the time, not all the time. But granted, I do be talking about stuff that's confusing, especially people who don't know stuff. And then I'm just like talking to them as if they know the whole subject. So yes, people would be confused and they wouldn't know what I was saying. And I didn't realize that because I knew what I was saying. I understood what I was saying, so I assumed they, and I understood them. So then getting to the point where I realized, oh, maybe I'm not as good of a communicator as I thought, allowed me to one accept that that isn't the idea, that was something that I was identifying um as we do, we are going to identify with everything, you know, whatever, whether it's gender or race or age or your job or whatever, we're going to find things to identify with. And one of those things for me was a communicator. Found out more than anything I am more of a good listener and then a problem solver. People don't want that. People don't want their problem solved. They want to they want to figure it out themselves. So I learned to start asking people questions, unless like I am friends with them and we are close. Because guess what? I'm not gonna just let you lay in the mud unless you want. Like if you're doing a mud bath, cool. Go hang out in the mud, do your thing, enjoy your bath. But you ain't getting in my car covered in all that mud. You don't have to rinse off. Okay. Anyway, much love. I'm leaving. I'm done. I don't know why I ended up talking more. Okay. Bye. Or I'll see you at another time. Or you'll see me at another time on this. And in the meantime, keep a lookout for those hunters. And stay synchronized.